I had a damn blast, but.
Well, if you enjoyed it, son, you just need to keep that to yourself, and I wouldn't even tell Bradley that.
Bradley, I know it's to say, but I had a blast.
Okay, I want to springboard off of a very important video that Harvey Freebird just released, where this lady right here, Jennifer Foley, who is the sister of a guy named Scott Spivey, who was killed during a road rage incident in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, by a guy named Weldon Boyd. This is Weldon Boyd on the left, and on the right here is Orig County Police Deputy Chief Brandon Strickland. We have some additional recorded phone conversations. One of the conversations depicts Weldon Boyd saying he had an effing good time as he was killing Scott Spivey. Listen to this.
I got people. I got a judge, a county judge. I've got Brandon with the SWAT team.
What's up, man?
Brandon, where are you at?
I'm in my house.
Can you come to Camp Swamp Road off of 9 like as fast as possible?
Yeah, what's wrong?
I had to shoot somebody.
What? You had to shoot somebody?
He held a gun at us. He ran us off the road. We stopped to try and get the stuff on the trailer because we were hauling a couch. He got out, pulled a gun, started shooting at us, and we had to shoot back.
Did you call 911?
Yeah, they're all here. And I've got witnesses that watched him run me off the road, that watched him hold the gun out the window. We have a picture of him holding the gun out the window, and then when he was in front of us, he got out the car, racked the slide, aimed it at us, and started shooting, and we shot back. And then when he got back in the car, we quit shooting, and then he started shooting again, and we started having to shoot again.
Real quick, Weldon left something out here. On September 9th, 2023, Scott Spivey, who's 33 years old, was killed in a road rage incident in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. After drinking at a bar, Spivey drove a Chevy Silverado, allegedly swerved close to a pickup truck carrying Weldon Boyd and his friend Kenneth Bradley Williams. Both of them were armed. Witnesses reported Spivey brandishing a .45 caliber pistol and driving erratically, running Boyd off the road. And this is what Weldon Boyd left out of this conversation. He pursued Spivey for 9 miles along Highway 9 to Camp Swamp Road, where a confrontation led to an exchange of gunfire. Boyd and Williams fired over 40 rounds, including, as you can see here, through the windshield, with Boyd admitting to the fatal shots, one entering Spivey's back. Spivey was found dead in his truck, holding a gun with the slide locked, according to police.
Is he dead?
Yes.
All right, I got to be real careful with that because in my jurisdiction we're an investigating agency, so I got to be careful that I'm not showing any.
I know that it's self-defense, and we got witnesses that are all saying it's self-defense. I'm a nervous wreck, dude.
Is it really self-defense on Weldon Boyd's part when he's the one who is chasing Strickland for 9 freaking miles?
I'll slide out there, but I got to be real careful. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right.
It's just I just don't understand what in the world was going through his head. I mean, the dude just lost it.
Well, I'll tell you what I was told. Well, what I heard not from my people, but from somebody else who knew who this guy was. Says he must have been a pretty big dude because he said he was roiding. He was on roids real bad. He might have been having some roid rage.
Well, hopefully they do a top screen on him.
Yeah, they will. They will because originally the coroner thought, and this is all me and you talking. This isn't the county police talking to you. Okay.
Okay.
Originally they weren't even going to do an autopsy on the guy. I was like. And was like, no, y'all need to do one just to cover it in case like a civil suit or something tries to come down the line, just to cover you. So, because the autopsy tells you how somebody died. We know how he died. He was shot.
Do they know how many times he was hit or anything?
They'll do the autopsy either today or tomorrow. I don't know.
That's kind of a weird question for the shooter who killed a guy to ask.
But I was up through
especially given what he says coming up. Stay tuned.
Last night talking to him. I was in the shadows last night. I weren't there, but I was in the shadows. But I'm going to tell you, I told Jada last night, and I talked to Daniel. I said, it's one of the hardest things I think I've ever dealt with, having a friend of mine involved in something like that, and I can't be there for him.
You were there for me, and I fully understood what you were saying. I mean, it was, and Ken got there very fast. I mean, Ken was with me, me and Bradley pretty quick. So,
okay, Alan's a good dude, man. I wanted to send the right person down there to you. So. He treat you good though?
Yeah, okay? Yeah. I mean, it was fine. I just wish it, didn't have. I just wish it didn't happen, but. Hopefully hopefully they just, it's just all these rumors. I mean, I'm still seeing people saying stuff, and it's just like, damn, y'all. I mean, it ain't like I went looking for that. I pulled off the road. He was parked, and I mean, he basically ambushed us.
Spivey ambushed you after you chased him for 9 miles.
Well, here's the deal, dude. You could have been. Oh, and I talked to Nate last night too. I called Nate. He was at dinner. And I discussed it all with him, and he said that when I talked to you, to tell you he's thinking about you, but not to worry about anything. Because they'd have to go to him if they were going to charge you for a warrant. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and they're not going to, so don't even think like that. But, yeah, you good, man. I hate you went through it, man.
It is what it is. I mean, it's. I'm okay with it. I mean, Bradley's pretty quiet, but.
Who's the guy you were with?
That's my buddy Bradley.
Kenneth Bradley Williams.
Well, don't tell Bradley you enjoyed that.
I had a damn blast, but.
That vehicle was a SWAT.
Well, if you enjoyed it, son, you just need to keep that to yourself. And I wouldn't even tell Bradley that because,
If you enjoyed shooting another man till he was dead, son, I'd keep that to myself.
You just, I mean, I know
And this ain't the first time he says this.
Friends and everything, but you wouldn't want Bradley to accidentally slip up and tell somebody that you said that.
They finished the analysis on both my vehicle and his. The TRX was never hit once other than the shots that we made through the windshield.
Okay.
Scott was shooting a Springfield XD45.
Okay, that explains the low round count.
That explains the lower round count and the big hole in the tailgate.
Okay.
On top of that, they have significant evidence that Scott, there was shell casings, there was a significant amount of shell casings outside of the vehicle and significant amount of shell casings inside of his vehicle, which confirms our story that he engaged us from the outside of the truck, got back in his truck, and we quit shooting, and then he started shooting again.
With all the cover-up already going on from the Orig County Police, how do we know those shells weren't planted inside his vehicle and outside the vehicle?
So our story is solid. Now, here's where it gets crazy. Remember when he put his head up and we both were starting to shoot again?
Yeah.
He's talking to Kenneth Bradley Williams, who was his passenger, who also shot at Spivey.
That's when we killed him.
Yeah.
Starting to shoot again?
Yeah.
That's when we killed him.
Yeah.
You know why he put his head up?
Why?
He was lifting himself off of the center console where he had another high capacity magazine that he was trying to get to reload and get back in the fight. Ken told me that I had a horseshoe up my ass. He said, what are the chances that you get in a shootout and you got 5 independent witnesses where none of them know you and none of them know each other all stop to back up your story?
Yeah.
He said if this had happened on a back road where it was just you, Bradley, and that vehicle and there was no one else around, he said this would have been a whole different situation.
Yeah, I believe so.
And Brandon said, just be thankful he wasn't black.
Yeah. I mean, and that's true.
So, Bradley, I know it's to say, but I had a blast. I know it's but I'm a person.
I had an effing blast. His mom and dad just told him, hey, you better not mention that to Bradley. But Weldon Boyd just couldn't keep his mouth shut. He had a blast blowing another fellow human away.
Well, I mean, you know, it is what it is.
I had a good time.
I had such a good time just watching that guy die. What kind of psycho?
Main thing is, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay.
They're talking like cops. Well, the main thing is, you're okay. I'm okay. We get to go home to our families at the end of the day. This is Jennifer Foley. She is Scott Spivey's sister, and here's part of what she said during a town hall meeting.
The words hanging over the door of Orig County Police Department reads, "Professionals at work for you." These words carry a hollow meaning for my family. We trust law enforcement to protect us, to do the right thing. The rule of law requires that people are in these positions are required to be ethical, moral, and abide by the rules. But the truth in Scott's case never had a chance from the beginning. Its outcome was determined before the real investigation ever got started. We are disappointed to continue to discover the acts of Orig County Police Department officers that assisted in this biased investigation. As the former deputy chief said, dead men tell no tales. In this case, it seems that many people of authority believe that since dead men can't tell any tales, their voice doesn't matter. I speak for those tonight who cannot speak for themselves, and that is my brother. Imagine meeting with these people that are entrusted to protect your life and your family, and when you start to ask simple questions, you are immediately dismissed with indignation. We repeatedly asked about the relationships of Orig County Police Department and the shooters, and we were dismissed every single time. We were lied to when investigators and the prosecutor told us that they looked. They didn't. We were lied to when we were told that there was no evidence to warrant prosecution. Our family was never notified of Scott's death. Scott was left in his truck in 77-degree heat for 6 hours, sealed up and towed across county to have his body drug out on the ground, stripped, and photographed in the impound lot. To have the county only try to justify this to claim that there was a threat of inclement weather. Imagine hearing the secret recording conversations of an officer telling the shooter what was done to help him. What else was done? There are 2 hours of body cam footage missing from the scene that night.
That is criminal. If you have body cams and you deactivated those body cams in any way, whether you turn them off or muted them or whatever, or lost the evidence, that should be punishable by immediate termination and jail time. Because you know if somebody did that, they know they're doing wrong.
They were told to turn their body cams off. And so all of these decisions to tow my brother in his truck, and that were executed, are missing. No one is taking accountability for them. The tow sheets that have my brother's name on them, it says victim/truck, no one signed them. Scott was towed to preserve evidence. Detective Alan Jones had to come back to my brother's truck 3 times to get more evidence out of his truck. 3 times. And those pieces of evidence are not indicated in the police report. The 300 pages of the police report I have. There's a dash cam in the truck of the individual that shot my brother. That dash cam has a video on it. That is in their recordings, and that is in text messages. And that recording of my brother's last minutes on this earth sat in that truck for 4 days on the Orig County Police Department's impound lot. That is unacceptable. The AG told my family that nothing mattered prior to the incident that happened on Camp Swamp Road. It did not matter that Boyd and Williams chased my brother at speeds at close to or over 100 miles per hour for 9 miles. How can they not consider that when you clearly hear the shooters say they have their guns drawn too? Right from the beginning, in Boyd's own admission in his tape to his mother, "Between me and you, Mama," yes, Scott knew he was being followed. He just ran me off the road, and I was like, F that guy, and I chased him. I was on his ass, and his truck couldn't outrun mine, and Scott knew it. Scott was terrified. Those are his words.
It's almost like Weldon Boyd chased Scott Spivey down, hunted him down with their guns drawn.
Imagine being chased down and somebody telling you that this is a stand your ground case. No reasonable person can say that those shooters were without thought on bringing on this difficulty. Our family has been told that all evidence was clearly and thoroughly examined to reach the AG's decision. You know it wasn't, or we wouldn't have been given, y'all wouldn't have written a letter to the governor. And thank you for that. I really do appreciate that. Through discovery, I found the mounds of evidence that were never reviewed. Did these agencies fail to investigate, or did they investigate and turn a blind eye to all the evidence? There are 90 recorded phone calls. There are hundreds of text messages, and there is a wealth of metadata on those pictures that are on those phones. Regardless of the missing video, body cam footage displaying blatant and inappropriate interactions between the officers on scene, clear violations of standard protocols by everyone, like coaching the shooters to act like a victim.
Yeah, that's what the cop wrote on the scene on the notebook. You can see the video. Said, act like a victim, you're on camera.
These noted actions are not only displayed with the shooter's malice intentions and vile enjoyment of killing my brother, but it also depicts the police department's complacency in the obstruction of justice and what actually happened in the shadows. We will continue to fight for justice. That is the price we pay for loving Scott. We will not stop until all the acts of these officers and anyone else involved who participated in this are held accountable. We ask that you demand the governor to appoint a special prosecutor independent of the AG's office. He has the power to do that.
So leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comment section below. If you have any more information related to this case so that we can shed light on it, leave your comment in the comment section below or email me at contact@highimpactflix.com. Appreciate you guys. Like and share this video, and I'll see you in the next one.